Piers, how much money are you worth?
Not as much as you, sadly.
Exactly. So take my advice. Maybe you'll get richer.
I would love to take your business advice.
Why would I listen to you?
Well, why do you hear what my advice is?
You can't tell me with your accent that me as an American, Jew, black person, that I cannot question that deaf and question the means behind that was put on camera.
I'm not saying you
to
can't
traumatize. I'm not finished. La 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 means let me finish.
I don't know even. Oh. At this rate, I just don't know. I just don't know. And I don't know what has possessed me to watch the full 2-hour Piers Morgan interview with him. But Jesus Christ and Jason Bourne. Hey, what's up you guys? We are back again with another video. You guys are doing fantastic. I know I am. Okay, so we're going to talk about Kanye. I have so much to talk about with this guy because the last few weeks, if you've been involved, if you've literally just been socially aware on social media, this guy has been making an absolute mockery of himself. Now, let me put a disclaimer. Kanye West, in case you are not already informed of it yourself, he has a mental illness. He has bipolar disorder. So let me just put something in the front face of the video before anybody wants to have chats for me, okay? I understand that this individual may be suffering from a mental illness, 100%. And I understand that it's because of this mental illness that is manifesting these behaviors and causing him to act the way that he's been acting. I can recognize that. I can understand that two things, as we've talked about multiple times on this channel, two things can be right at the same time. However, the same way how I critiqued Gabby Hanna's actions, someone who as well has gone through a very public manic episode because she also suffers from bipolar disorder, the same way how I critiqued her and I was able to still look at her mental illness and understand that just because you have a mental illness does not excuse the actions, the hurt that you cause on the world with your platforms, because you have to understand these people have platforms. I will give him the same grace. However, I will not make excuses for his actions. I'm so sorry. I understand that's what a lot of people are doing right now. I understand that all the Kanye stans are coming up here and saying, oh, he's talking sense, he's just I'm not here to make excuses for people's actions. I'm sorry. I'm not here. I don't care who you are. I don't care. If you're literally on social media and you are pushing out hateful, hurtful disinformation, I'm gonna call you out on it. I can recognize that you're going through it. I can recognize that you have a mental illness, and I can recognize that that might be the main contributing factor. However, that does not excuse your actions. So let that be the main theme of this video when you go through for watching. Where do we even begin with this man's deplorable behavior over the last few weeks? I think the main issue for me is the fact that he sees himself again. I understand that it's because of his mental illness. There's a huge issue that I find with him seeing himself or putting himself in the position to be the victim of these situations that he has gotten himself into. These situations including what he tweeted about Jewish people with a White Lives Matter t-shirt. My God, I can't keep defending you. I can't keep defending you, Kanye. We can't. In the past, I've defended this guy multiple times, but I cannot keep doing it, bro. I can't. This guy is mentally ill, and now people are running with the things that he is saying. Kanye West has amassed himself an incredible audience across so many platforms. It's unbelievable. So when he says the things that he says, it will inevitably have an impact on people's lives, and people are going to run with it, and people are going to believe it.
People who are very, very like all of the same people, I guess you could say, and the people that he's saying are the Jewish people, which if we're being honest, that is fact. I'm sorry.
I finally touched the person that's not going to take it anymore.
You can't tell me nothing.
My biggest question is the people in his life clearly don't care about him. The people that Kanye is surrounding himself around do not care about him. They don't, because if they did, they would not be allowing him to make such a public mockery of himself. I don't understand as to why he thinks, first of all, British media, one of the main things that Kanye says when he's on Piers Morgan's Uncensored is that he wants to get away from American media because of how censored, how he can't talk properly on American media, and how American media just twists his words time and time and time again. First of all, Kanye, my brother, why do you think British media would be any different? Why do you think British media would be any different? Coming from a Brit myself, I'm telling you right now, it is no better in terms of censorship. It is no better. And if he honestly thinks that this Piers Morgan interview made him sound eloquent, made him sound like he actually knew what he was talking about in terms of leading black people out of systemic racism, if he thinks that this interview helped him or amplified him in any way, God almighty, is he surely mistaken? Piers has only made this guy more of a laughing stock. The main reason as to why that is because he came on to Uncensored thinking that Piers was going to actually listen or hear anything that he has to say. Piers has his own agenda to begin with. So the fact that he came onto Uncensored thinking that it was going to be agendaless, thinking that this was his platform to speak because every other social media so far has banned him, Instagram, Twitter, everyone has banned him. So he thinks coming on Uncensored is going to help him. Boy, like I keep saying, Kanye West is someone who has unlimited resources at his fingertips. Meaning that if he needed to word something correctly on Twitter, he has the resources to do that. He has the PR team, the PR management to do that. So why he hasn't done that, or why he hasn't sought someone to do that, is beyond me. It's completely beyond me, because perhaps if you had asked your PR management to word your tweets correctly, we wouldn't be in this situation. We wouldn't be on Uncensored looking like a laughing stock to Piers Morgan and his audience.
Hey boy,
regret.
Hey boy,
Don't call me boy.
Don't finish. I told you. Oh, don't treat me like a boy then.
And we're not even talking about the George Floyd, oh my God. We're not even talking about the things that he's been saying about the George Floyd family. Like, that is just, this is what I mean with Kanye. He is such a confused individual. I don't understand how you can be so pro-black, but be setting black people back so many years at the same time. That dichotomy has just been known to me. I don't understand how he can be doing both at the exact same time. He goes on in the Piers Morgan interview to say how he was questioning the authenticity of the coroner who declared George Floyd dead and declared how he died, his cause of death. He was questioning that. First of all, this was a debate that I thought was debunked back in 2021, 2020 when it first arose. Why are we still talking about this? Why are we still belittling, undermining the feelings, the emotions of George Floyd's family? First of all, not only George Floyd's family, but the families of people who have died unnecessarily to police brutality. You're undermining their stories automatically when you do things like this. How dare you? How dare you sit up here on Beyonce's internet? I have to be honest with you guys, I'm just gonna be real. How dare he sit on here on Beyonce's internet claiming to be so for black people, the movement of black liberation, claiming to have to be holding that torch for us, but in the exact same breath to be undermining a black man's death who died unnecessarily to the hands of white supremacy and the deplorable systems that America still runs under, aka systemic racism. It's the fact that even Piers agrees. Even Piers himself understands and agrees that it's because of that white racist police officer that killed George Floyd. That's the reason as to why he died. There's no long thing about it. Even Piers is able to understand that very simple, fathomable idea. And I understand that he's apologized. Like, it's recent, like a couple of days ago, he came out with an apology, apologizing to the black community, to George Floyd's family, saying how wrong he was.
That, and I question the death of George Floyd. It hurt my people. It hurt the black people. So I want to apologize to hurting them, because right now God has shown me by what Adidas is doing and by what the media is doing, I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now. So I thank you, God, for humbling me and letting me know how it really felt. Because how could the richest black man ever be humbled other than to be made to not be a billionaire in front of everyone off of one comment that actually, if you look at the definition of DEF CON, it means to get extra defense, which obviously I must have needed.
Yeah.
But the damage has already been done. The damage has already been done. The past couple years for the Floyd family probably has been the worst of their lives. Honestly. Honestly. And you have only just added to that.
I know how it feels to have a knee on my neck now.
Be for real for 2 seconds. Can you try be for real for 2 seconds? Oh my God. I know what it's like now to have a knee on my neck, to put quote a phrase. Are we for real? How is his PR management or whoever it is who runs this guy in the background, how are you guys allowing him to come up and say that to press? There are people literally taking photos of the deplorable things that this man is saying, and you guys are literally just standing there and allowing him to say that. The media, of course, will always have its agenda. It will always have the narratives that it wants to follow. Of course, that's why there are things called right-wing and left-wing media. Of course, and nothing's really agendaless. However, I have to put my hand up and say, Kanye, bro, you did this. You did a lot of this. A lot of this was not the media. A lot of this was the media capturing what you did and amplifying it and exploiting it to their audiences. That's what the media did.
The media is Goliath.
On that point,
Yeah.
you keep talking about the media as if somehow it's the media that's created all this furore in the last 2 weeks.
You did this to yourself. And again, it might not be 100% your fault because of the mental illness that you're suffering from, but you did this to yourself. You can't keep running around like a headless chicken claiming to be the victim. You did this to yourself. This is the issue when we put ordinary people on pedestals. But that's just my 2 cents on it. But yes, thanks for watching, guys. If you did like this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to head over to my TikTok, which is where I found this apology video, which is where I watched the original, and is where I found most of this information from. Also, make sure to head over to my Instagram, because hell, you might as well. And guys, you're literally here, so you might as well subscribe. Thanks for watching, guys, and I shall see y'all in the next one.
Interview adjourned. Love you.
Okay, that's the end of the interview.